I didn't feel that in my current state of mind, I would be able to carry on handling this call.
Why not?
I was still trying to calm myself down.
4 years later, we hear from one of the officers charged in the death of Elijah McClain for the first time. Today, Nathan Woodyard took the stand in his own defense. Woodyard was the first officer to stop McClain after a 911 caller said he looked sketchy. McClain had done nothing wrong.
This is an unusual move for a defendant in a criminal trial to take the stand. You'll recall that in the earlier trial for the two other officers, neither took the stand in their defense. But once you hear Woodyard's tearful testimony, full of regret, you understand the defense's motive.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Former Aurora officer Nathan Woodyard had never used the carotid hold on duty before he met Elijah McClain.
Well, there's a lot that can go wrong with it. Mainly if applied improperly, you can strangle somebody.
So why does an officer of 2 years utilize a potentially deadly maneuver on an unarmed man?
Just grab your gun, dude.
Woodyard tells the jury he feared for his life.
I heard Officer Rodima say he just grabbed your gun, dude.
What did you hear before that?
I heard Mr. McClain say I intend to take my power back.
What went through your mind?
I was expecting to get shot, and I thought I'd never see my wife again.
The carotid hold cuts off oxygen to the 23-year-old's brain. He vomits, asphyxiates, and other officers on the scene continue to apply physical force until paramedics arrive. What happens next for Woodyard? Overcome with emotion, he sits in his patrol car for a few minutes to collect himself.
I went to my car,
What did you do in your car?
cried some more. I think I tried to call my wife.
While Woodyard is only involved in the first 5 minutes of the 18-minute-long deadly encounter with Elijah McClain, prosecutors made sure the jury knew how many mistakes were made during that time.
The first moment that you could have gone hands-on with him and you chose to grab him.
Yes.
The only words that he had uttered to you before you grabbed him were, "I have a right to walk where I'm going."
Yes.
Far from the de-escalation tactics Aurora officers are relentlessly trained on.
And Mr. Woodyard, my question was, there's no obvious threat from him.
No, there's no obvious threat.
He hasn't tried to run away where you need to grab him to stop him.
Correct.
The cross-examination was a highlight reel of mistakes. Woodyard admitted to violating one policy after another.
You were conscious of the risk that somebody whose breathing complaints were ignored could die from that problem.
Yes.
When you came back to the scene and Mr. McClain was about to get ketamine and put on the gurney, you didn't tell anyone about his complaints that he couldn't breathe.
No.
While Woodyard stood by, paramedics would inject McClain with ketamine that ultimately would stop his heart. Woodyard's trial is expected to wrap later in the week. Two paramedics who administered that ketamine are set to go on trial the week after Thanksgiving.